COVID-19 compliance in schools, as correspondent takes a look at the conduct of exit examinations. A non-governmental organization reconstructs and hands over primary healthcare center to a community in Buhari Area Council. And management of NTA raises concern over inaccurate story being circulated by some online media outfits and newspapers. A very good evening to you and welcome to the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Habiba Oladipo and we begin with an update of COVID-19 in the FCT, where figures from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control NCDC as at the 25th of August 2020 indicates 18 new cases of coronavirus and 14 new discharge with no deaths recorded, making the total number of confirmed cases to stand at 5,046, while active cases is 3,702, and the total number of discharged cases in the territory now stands at 1,293, and sadly 51 deaths have so far been recorded in the FCT. For the past 3 weeks, the education sector has put firm feet on the ground to enforce the compliance of COVID-19 guidelines. Hadiza Godin-Ebune went to some schools and now reports.
More than 14 days since the resumption of schools to allow exiting classes sit for their senior secondary certificate examinations under the COVID-19 guidelines, which the federal government gave schools directives to put in place. How well are the schools inculcating these rules and guidelines?
The use of face mask is compulsory. Without the face mask, in fact, no student has tried it. It's compulsory. We do not have assemblies for now, but in their classes, like as I said, in the hall, when we have any information every day, we remind them, sensitize them about the COVID-19 protocols.
As they are on break now, we have janitors that go around to clean the desk to make sure they observe the COVID-19 guidelines.
On the other hand, students say the new and different way of learning has opened them into a new world of healthy living.
The school have made it a rule that all students must wash their hands at least every 25 seconds, every 25 minutes, that all students must wash their hands. Even before you enter the school, you must first check your temperature.
The water for washing hands, they are in every door of the school, and you must wash your hand every 25 minutes.
They check our temperatures, we wash our hands, no shaking and no hugging.
So when you come into the school, it's compulsory to wash your hands, and then you show them at the gate your pocket hand sanitizer. Then you come into the school, you clean your hands with a tissue paper, then you sanitize.
The school said they will remain committed to continuous sensitization for the students. Hadiza Godin-Ebune, NTA News.
The World Health Organization has declared Nigeria free of wild polio virus. In its announcement, WHO said that Nigeria has made remarkable progress against polio, but continued surveillance is needed to protect these gains and ensure that polio does not return. Nigeria is the last African country to be declared free from wild polio, having accounted for more than half of all global cases less than a decade ago. Nigeria has not reported a case of wild polio virus since the 24th of July 2014. Primary health care delivery in Kuchiko under Buhari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory has received a boost with a reconstructed primary health care center. Hakimat Ali reports that the facility, remodeled by a non-governmental organization, Citizens Health Education Development Initiative, has been handed over to the community.
These are images of the old primary health care center, Kuchiko, originally donated by a female corps member as her community service project. It has over the years remained dilapidated, giving rise to concerns. The story has changed as beneficiaries of the health center, mostly women and children, excited, passing by the facility, which now wears a new look.
I specifically thank all Chedi staff and all our artisans who worked here for being resilient despite the COVID-19 scourge. They weathered Buhari bad roads and traffic jams daily, except during those 2 weeks of lockdown, to ensure that today is a reality. Finally, to the World Bank staff, we at Chedi are very appreciative for finding us worthy to be working with you for these past years. We look forward to a continual cordial working relationship.
With the health center officially handed over back to the community, the Supervisory Council of Health, Buhari Area Council, stressed the need for proper use and maintenance of the facility.
For the staff to have ease of discharging their duties, and the patients that are coming there too will be comfortable. So I pray that God will help this Buhari Area Council.
The chief's supposed to be here, but because of his condition, and he asked me to represent him. By the grace of God, with the nurses and the community, we will join hands together so that we'll make sure that everything that is here, nothing will be damaged.
The people of Kuchiko can now breathe a sigh of relief, as in addition to the facility, a borehole was also donated. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
And earlier we told you that Nigeria has been declared free from wild polio virus, and Salwa Khalil Ibrahim buttressed some reactions from FCT residents on WHO certification of Nigeria as wild polio free.
For decades, Nigeria has been battling to rid the country of polio, with concerted effort by government, individuals and organizations to support the fight. And since 2014, Nigeria has not reported any case of the wild polio virus. With Nigeria declared wild polio free by WHO, many say it is a milestone for the country and Africa at large.
It's very, very nice. So Nigeria is free now. Oh, thank God.
There has been this consistent immunization on polio for children. So I think that's very wonderful. That's a good report about Nigeria.
Even those of us who are victims of polio are not happy with our conditions and are not praying it will continue. Therefore, we are happy with this new development.
It's to create awareness in the rural area mostly, where we have small children, and also help the mothers to bring out their children to receive the vaccine.
I'm eagerly expecting the same certification to apply to this pandemic that we are currently facing with, and I believe with the capacity of the Federal Ministry of Health, with the Nigerian government, I have that assurance that soon as this pandemic that is ravaging the world will be clear, mostly from Nigeria first.
Many also believe efforts must be sustained not to reverse the gains and in fighting other health concerns, especially maternal and child health, as well as the coronavirus pandemic. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And from health, we move to security, where the Federal Capital Territory Police Command is requesting those in possession of firearms to submit them at any police division nearest to them to avoid prosecution. The Commander Rapid Response Squad Assistant Commissioner of Police Aminu Garba said this when he featured on Call the Police, a security check program on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Safia Noma Uche reports.
Commander Rapid Response Squad Assistant Commissioner of Police Aminu Garba says it is as a result of proliferation of arms in the country that led to the Riot Act.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, was greatly concerned about the increasing proliferation of prohibited firearms across the country. Pop action rifles and above, all are prohibited firearms that cannot be possessed, or rather you cannot have control over them until you are licensed to do that. And the license should be granted by the president.
He said not all firearms are expected to be submitted, adding that anyone who comes willingly to submit will not face penalty.
They should oblige a credible information to the police so that we identify these persons or groups, and I'm assuring them that any credible information will be treated with confidentiality. So don't hesitate, come to the police, provide any credible information, we are going to act on it.
ACP Garba appealed to FCT residents to work with FCT Police Command to ensure that everyone and everywhere is safe. Sophia Noma Uchi, NTA News.
The management of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, has noted with concern the inaccurate and fallacious stories being circulated by some online media outfits and some newspapers to the effect that it has been ordered by the Senate Committee on Finance to step aside. This claim is wholly untrue and thrives only in the realm of malice and mischief. In a statement signed by the Deputy Director, Corporate Affairs NTA, as a corporate body and public broadcaster is not under the radar of the Senate through its Committee on Finance. What is being looked at is the NTA Star Times joint venture, a limited liability cable television company formed in 2009 and jointly owned by both NTA and Star Times. The company has its own management, which is independent of and entirely different from the management of NTA. The management has appeared before the committee on invitation and presented documents as requested. The management of NTA, headed by the Director General Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, is intact and has not been asked to step aside, and is performing its day-to-day activities without let or hindrance. And now talking sports, Nigerian striker John Mikel Obi scored his first Stoke City goal in a 5-1 defeat of Shrewsbury Town as world number 1 Novak Djokovic advances to the third round of the Western and Southern Tennis Open Championship in New York. Abdullahi Slimaniaji has this and more on Sports Brief.
Mikel, who joined the Potters on a free transfer earlier this month, made his first start for Stoke City at the club's Clayton Wood training ground. The 33-year-old restored the host's lead just before the break after Oakley Boots' opener was cancelled out by Shrewsbury Town. Mikel was in action for 45 minutes before he was replaced by Tom Inche, while DR Congo's Benika Fobe was introduced after the hour mark. Meanwhile, Nigerian forward Asisa Toshawala was twice unlucky as Wolfsburg ground out a 1-0 win over FC Barcelona Women's Champions League final for a 5th time. Sweden forward Fridolina Rolfo put the German ahead against the run of play in the 58th minute. She fired in from close range as Barca, beating finalists last year, failed to clear the danger. Barca had 16 attempts on goal, but only once managed to test Wolfsburg goalkeeper Frederick Abt, who saved the header from Ashaola in the first half. In tennis, reigning Australian champion Open Novak Djokovic breezed through the final game by winning 4 straight points, closing it out with a cross-court forehand winner to clinch it in 88 minutes. But American Sandgren made the Serb work for the victory as he survived 5 match points in the previous game. For Sports Brief, Abdullahi Suleimani Yaji, NTA News.
And with Sports Brief, we conclude the English version of the news at 7. But just before we go, here's a quick reminder. Please take personal responsibility as COVID-19 is real. Do stay safe and stay tuned for the translations of the news. Have a good evening.
ma gba je we sha je we wona bi ku sha gbedai wa na ba shi ba gbedai wo mo praise Yusuf Ayuba wani wa gwa na ba je ga yi na ba je asida inge aladu shagudo wa ta haye she abi be je zalo anya ba mutu ba adai inge abi dade mbaza na gba ba fi gbagbetulo inge nya se nya kwanyi Hadiza Godwin ibone nwa bele sheba yin wa dai inge shewa bele sheba na bi anya ba ba we kuje inge abi fi adaba ba dagma sheba la jeze be na ba ka nya ba ka owaye ko ko shile mba bi ko ni ba che ba bwa ba godulo nya bai ogodo we ga bi ku ba bubu iwu nge nya saya abagbatu fi ko ku ba na zo ko awawai ko la ba enyiza wai mba fi haye ko ka ba wi a sheba ba jin inge ba na lafiya ba owu ba za na gba ba ga ba ta ba fa nya hai ba ta ba fa ye bagbatu nya saya fi wa nge sasa fi aduru ba dabele na bi ba fi bagbatu nya saya ntu nsubo anya sa shi gbajin atete je ba nkuchukwo nkwololo Buhari gwamnati bibi yin nke zinaye akule ba majin aim ba anya sa ashigbajin anya kun Hakimat Aliyu wada inge agbedogun tiga gwamnati yan ba na belo ba jin tetiye kwanyi nkuchukwo ba gaba anya kun ba jin anya kun ya ba wa godo we gan ga bi nkwan nu ba jin me ye anya sa ashigbajin ba kwanyi kwanyi la wu ya nkwa na jin gbedogun ye ko be majin ko la abejin baba ogwede we ga kansala nwa be gbe Buhari we be shinpaje da putain we ko bugba bubu iwu we ga ba japma na be kwa be akuchukwu of majin ogwodu wala no asinsin gbokun gubaya gwamnati anabaki atete shiba ina peye ga NTA ba dai inge abadada mba sun ba pe nseyin ba izaza nga sanita agna nga yi NTA zana gban la kashi nshipaje yin bede kwen la kun akata bohoto lonu koto wulo lonu badai nge gbedogun ye start time no ko shidotu ngwa sido NTA asanita ya zana gban bana ba yi ba nga ba be na ba akan aje awea NTA zana gban ye Yakubu Ebni Mohammed woni ye shin nge yi zana gban ina tete jiba bada na gna pe na se nga wala shin ina shin paje koto lolonu bede kwen ko la kun akata ma agba ja na baji kuzo yibe jade wo su shekwa ji fi yi ewe fi na gbada saisu
Masu kallon mu barkamu da yammaci ga fasarar takaitattun labarai mai karantawa Isiyaku Buhari Suleja. An bayyana cewa bayan komawar 'yan makarantu da sati uku don rubuta jarabawa, wakiliyarmu Hadiza Godwin Ebony ta rawaito mana cewa ta kai ziyara waɗansu makarantu da ta ga ɗalibai masu rubuta jarabawa sun bayar da haɗin kai wajen bin dokan kiyaye kamuwa da cutar COVID-19. Ɗaliban kuma sun yi bayanin cewa sun samu kansu a wani sabon yanayi na daban ta wajen karatu. Wata ƙungiya ta yi aikin gyaran ƙaramar asibitin da ke ƙauyen Kuciko na ƙaramar hukumar Buhari. Wakiliyarmu Hakimat Aliyu ta ruwaito mana cewa ƙungiyar ta yi aikin gyaran asibitin ne wanda wata 'yar hidimar ƙasa ta bayar da gudunmawarta a matsayin aikin hidimar ƙasa. Wanda suke cin gajiyar asibitin yawanci mata ne da yara ƙanana. Ƙungiyar sun yi aikin gyaran ne bayan ya lalace kuma ya tsufa sosai, sun kuma mika zuwa ga hukumar ƙauyen. A jawabin kansila mai kulawa da hukumar lafiya na Buhari ya ce za a ba da kulawa na musamman wajen yin amfani da asibitin. Hukumar gidan talabijin na ƙasa tana jawo hankulan al'umma game da labaran da yake yawo a kafafen sada zumunta da kuma waɗansu jaridu cewa kwamitin majalisar dattijai sun dakatar da shugaban gidan talabijin Yakubu Ibn Muhammad daga bakin aikin sa. Kwamitin sun nemi kamfanin gidan talabijin na Startup ne domin jin wa'yansu bayanai wanda kuma sun gamsu da bayanan da suke nema. Jama'a, ƙarshen fasarar takaitattun labaran kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
Ekele m gị Igbo bụ Igbo, ọ ga-erukwala ọzọ maka akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Aha m bụ Rachel Ifeyinwa Ono. Tọkene ntị n'ala ka ị nara anyị akụkọ anyị ji wee bịa n'uhuruchi a. Ọ gafeela abalị 14 agbebere ụlọ akwụkwọ maka ụmụ akwụkwọ ndị na-apụ apụ iji nyere ha aka ịkwado ule WAEC dịka agbachitụrụ ya n'ihi nje korona. Onye ụlọ anyị Hadiza Godwin Ebune wetara akụkọ na ọ gara n'ụlọ akwụkwọ dị iche iche ịmata etu ha si edobe iwu nke nje korona. Ha mekwara ka anyị mata na ụmụ akwụkwọ kwupụtara na ndụ ha na-ebi n'oge nje korona emepeela ya ha ịmụta etu ha ga-esi bie ndụ ga-akwalite ahụike ha, ebe ndị nkụzi kwere nkwa na ha ga-agba ọbara ike ha ịhụ na ha kụziere ha ụzọ ha ga-eji gbochie ya bụ nje korona. Ọtụtụ ụmụ nwaanyị na ụmụaka egosipụtala obi ụtọ ha na mwugharị otu nke na-abụghị nke gọọmenti wugharịrị ụlọ ahụike n'ime obodo Kuchiko nke dị n'okpuru ọchịchị Buhari. Onye ụlọ anyị Hakimat Aliyu wetara akụkọ na otu nke na-abụghị nke gọọmenti Citizens Health and Education Development Initiative wugharịrị ụlọ ahụike nke Kuchiko dịka ọnọdụ ya jọrọ ezigbo njọ iri mgbe. O kwekwara nghọta na ya bụ otu tinyere mmiri n'ogige ụlọ ahụike ahụ, ebe o mekwara ka anyị mata na otu onye ndụmọdụ na ya bụ ụlọ ahụike mere ka ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ mata mkpa ọ dị iji akụrụngwa dị iche iche na ya bụ ogige rụọ ọrụ n'ụzọ kwesịrị ekwesị. Ndị si n'ụlọ ọrụ mgbasa ozi nke ala anyị Nigerian Television Authority egosipụtala mwute ha n'ozi ụgha a na-agbasa site na ịntanetị nakwa akwụkwọ mgbasa ozi dị iche iche nke na-egosi na ewepụla onye isi ha bụ Yakubu Ibn Mohammed. Site n'okwu onye na-esote onye isi n'ụlọ ọrụ Corporate Affairs, o mere ka ọhaneze mata na NTA na StarTime abụghị otu kama na ha abụọ were njikọ ma nwekwe ndị isi dị iche iche, ebe o kwekwara nghọta na onye isi n'ụlọ ọrụ mgbasa ozi nke ala anyị NTA Yakubu Ibn Mohammed apụghị n'ụlọ ọrụ ya dịka ọtụtụ ndị na-agbasa ozi ụgha na ọ pụrụ kama na ọ nọ n'oche ya ma na-arụ ọrụ ya kwa ụbọchị na-enweghị ihe mgbochi ọbụla. Igbo bụ Igbo, ebe a ka anyị ga-apịachi akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Chebirikwa anyị n'ihe oge a echi niile.
Ẹ kú kalẹ̀ o, ẹ sì kú dédé wòyí. Ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín. Mọ́bọ́lájí Martin ni oníròyìn. Láti nǹkan bíi ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta, agbo ètò ẹ̀kọ́ dúró gírí láti rí i wípé gbogbo òfin COVID-19 ní gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tẹ̀lé. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Hadiza Godwin Ebune bẹ àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan wò lórí ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún. Ó jábọ̀ wípé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn olùkọ́ ń tẹ̀lé gbogbo ìlànà tí wọ́n fà kalẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún tún la ojú wọn sí àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn lórí ètò ìlera ara wọn. Àwọn olùkọ́ bákan náà sọ ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún àti pàtàkì rẹ̀. ilé ìwòsàn kékeré tó ń bẹ ní abúlé kùchíkó ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ buhari làbújá ti gbé ẹ̀wù tuntun wọ̀. alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn akímọ́tò aliyu ròyìn wípé ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ agùnbánirọ̀ kan ló fi ilé ìwòsàn ọ̀hún ta abúlé kùchíkó lọ́rẹ ní ọdún mélòó kan sẹ́yìn kí ẹgbẹ́ kan tó dúró láì fara ti ìjọba Citizen Health Education Development Initiative tuntun ilé ọ̀hún ṣe nípasẹ̀ òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìfowópamọ́ tàgbáyé kan bí wọ́n ti ń gbé ilé ìwòsàn ọ̀hún lé àwọn aṣáájú abúlé ọ̀hún lọ́wọ́. olùbẹ̀wò aṣojú ẹni lórí ètò ìlera fún ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún mẹ́nuba ìdí pàtàkì àti lò ó bí ó ti tọ́ pẹ̀lú àmójútó tó péye. bákan náà wọ́n tún fi kànga ìgbàlódé ta abúlé ọ̀hún lọ́rẹ. àwọn alákòóso iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán NTA ti gbóhùnsókè wípé irọ́ pátá ni gbogbo àhesọ ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ìríra tó ń lọ kiri orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára wípé àjọ ìgbìmọ̀ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin lórí ètò owó sọ wípé kí ó bọ́ sí ẹ̀pẹ́ kan kò sí òtítọ́ kankan nínú rẹ̀ ó sì lè ṣì àwọn ènìyàn lọ́nà. iléeṣẹ́ NTA kò sí lábẹ́ agbòrò nípasẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ ètò owó. iléeṣẹ́ yìí dúró fún ara rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn alámòjútó rẹ̀. òun àti Star Times ló ní NTA Star Joint Ventures. àwọn alákòóso NTA ti yọjú sí ìgbìmọ̀ bí wọ́n ti pè wọ́n sì ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n béèrè. ọ̀gá àgbà Yakubu Ibni Mohammed sọ wípé iléeṣẹ́ yìí dúró gidigba ó ń bá iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lọ lójoojúmọ́ láì fi igbá kan bọ̀kan nínú. tó kì í dùn kó pọ̀ ṣéun ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí wòye ọ̀la òun rèé la ó sùn.